Yeah, yeah, yeah. So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because they agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
We're back. This is going to be part 2 of the second half of the testimony. We started with Carrie Morgan, who was the best friend of Cassie. Notice I said past tense because apparently when Sean Diddy Combs decided he was going to put his hands on her, she was like, yeah, no, you can have this all by yourself. Okay. So after her, then we have an assistant that actually, I guess, was out of Michigan, and he sent his resume to work for Bad Boy, and he has a few things to say as well before they broke for the day. So we're going to go over that testimony. I know y'all been following it, but I have to, man, it's like I'm really interested in this transcript because when I was looking at kind of glancing over the tweets, it seems like there are like holes missing. So I've been trying to look on the Shade Room to see their little synopsises on there, and it's kind of been filling in the holes of when I guess Miss Morgan said that initially Cassie did not do drugs, but then as she got with Sean Combs, she's alleging that's when she started. So that makes more sense because I'm like, there's no way she was doing that type of drugs or whatever, and then that was your roommate and she had no clue. But we're gonna get into it, okay? We're gonna get into it. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much, Ray Bishop. Thank you. This is a real intriguing. Got me in between my own little hearings coming on here. I'm probably paying more attention to Diddy. Hey, Miss Buckeye, good to see you. Good to see all of you guys that are back supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button. I don't know. I think Don Richard she might have got cooked a little bit, but I don't know about these next two witnesses, especially the assistant. Can you imagine being his assistant and all the things his assistant was able to see? Can you imagine the stuff that he's probably going to say? I don't know, y'all. They trying to hit him. They trying to hit him with some of these witnesses. But anyway, let's go ahead and pull it up. Make sure y'all hit the like button. You said Don definitely got fried. But I saw that yesterday. If you watched my live, I was like, why are they calling her? I wasn't. The math was, we already know that he was beating her. So now you just look incredible that you kind of made some of these stories up to make it more salacious. And you don't want to do that. That's one of the things I said about these lawsuits. I said, my concern is there may be real victims out here. And because there's people that's like, oh, this is my money grab, it takes away from it with these crazy stories. You know, we've heard some crazy stories in these lawsuits. We heard about people FaceTiming and getting mad because he said something about Tupac and she said something, and so he putting IUDs in people. And I mean, we've heard some crazy things in these lawsuits, and it just makes you side eye like, what's the truth and what's not the truth. I do believe he had a temper. I think that's obvious on the video. He can't run from that. Also, I mean, the man's nickname was Puff because they said he always had a little attitude. So we know that. But how are we? I think the defense is going to have to separate, trying to separate that. Oh, you just may think I'm a mean boss, but you guys got paid for your work. and you had decent I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. But I did see Agnifilo is the one that did some cross-examination, and I'm always semi-impressed, with him. But yeah, Lee Jones said, "Do you think Diddy will take the stand?" The reason why I think so is because I think that he is his ego is going to make him want to take the stand. Even if they say they didn't prove their case, Diddy, you don't have to do anything, cuz really he could sit there. He doesn't have to put on a case at all. It's not his burden, it's the prosecution's. So he doesn't have a burden. He ain't got to show nothing if he don't want to. They got to prove every element. So, but because of who he is, and the defense has already said they're going to put up, they think their case is going to be about a week. So we know they're going to put people up. I think he's going to want to testify. And maybe they'll wait until after all of the witnesses come on and then decide if it's necessary. Thank you. See, let me see what your name is on here, because I don't want to put your government name out here for the Cash App. I don't want you to get mad at me now. Oh, you got the same name. Thank you. You said a little help with the transcripts. Thank you, C. Hawkins. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just think he got a little ego. You said Whitehead got on there. He was like, I don't care. I don't care how much evidence the government had. And with Whitehead's case, they actually had, like, if they had his phone, they had the cell tower pings, they had the actual screenshots from his phone, they had people testifying to the conversation, they have phone bill. They had about 5-6 ways to verify their one piece of evidence. And he still got on the stand and was like, it's all made up. It's all a lie. People that feel like they got the gift of persuasion, they're going to think that they can persuade you despite whatever evidence they have. So it'll be interesting. I wouldn't be shocked if he took the stand, but touch not my anointing, do my prophet no harm. Now, if Diddy get up there, they said Diddy was in the courtroom, reading his Bible. Everybody gets saved when they facing life in prison. Everybody gonna be preachers. Everybody got closer to God. Remember when he got off on that shooting case back in the 90s, where he was the club situation? He came out with his team. He had Johnny Cochran and them. He was like, I just want to first thank God, because with God, that's the only way this is possible. And he still was acting like a fool, because this was before he met Cassie. So folks, they pray to God and they get real close when they see that they need something and they need a miracle. But once they feel like they done got over the hump, a lot of them forget about who God is. Oh, Nesto say, what you talking about, just me? He going through his Job season. You said he even released a gospel song with Hezekiah Walker since that trial. Everybody loved Jesus when they facing life in prison, honey. Everybody was like, my mama told me ever since I was a kid I was gonna be a little preacher. So this is my time. No, y'all know it's true. What did R. Kelly do? Trade in my life for you. R. Kelly had a whole album too. Remember, he had before he got convicted these last times, he had a whole trial going on in Illinois that he got off because the young lady didn't show up. I'm just going by history. That's it. You said if TD Jakes gonna be a character witness for Diddy. Let me ask you, James Payday Owens. Do you think that would be a good idea? He gives the most challenging times to his most strongest warriors. That's what they say. His strongest soldiers. That's why they're going through what they're going through. No, how about y'all? You do things you're not supposed to, and it's called reaping and sowing. And sometimes you do get some grace and some mercy, but you can't take advantage of the grace and mercy that you've got. So let's see how this turns out. She said nope. Okay. Everybody gets religious when ish hits the fan, for real, for real. Y'all know it's true. Everybody, like my grandma used to take me to Shady Grove Baptist Church every Sunday. Diddy was the altar boy. He went to a Catholic school and he was the altar boy. So he gonna go back to his roots. Steve Harvey, and that's y'all are funny to me. But Sassy Sue, that's because I'm serious a lot of the times. That's probably why. Probably why my face is straight, because I'll be so serious. Because some of your questions, I want to know if y'all serious. Like, TD Jakes stepped down from his company, some of his companies, I believe. He stepped down from being the senior pastor of his church. You know, I think like he had a couple of conferences he do where he said he's gonna leave it to the committees. Like he's been slowly backing away. So why would Diddy want to put him in the forefront and be like, why don't you? Can you imagine cross-examination? His attorney would probably have to try to object and to narrow the scope, because any attorney, the AUSA will probably go in. Like, you're the one vouching for him. Isn't it true that you have lawsuits of which you were accused of? Isn't it true you were at they got a picture of you? Is that you putting a picture of him at the white party? Man, the AUSA will have a whole ball on that. I don't know. I don't know if that would be a great idea. You know what? Yeah. Ooh. It's everybody's Job season. The problem is everybody brings up Job, but they forget the first sentence that say that he was an upright, just man. Y'all not the same, okay? Y'all not the same. He really didn't do nothing. He ain't do nothing at all. We sitting up there witnessing all of these witnesses of people saying you've done stuff to them. Y'all are not the same. My God, today. Tell them, Ray. They be forgetting. All right, let's get into this now that we have a few people in here. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Shay. Allegedly. Over here, my name is alleged, okay? Nothing is fact. Everything is just my opinion. I'm not saying anything as a matter of fact, because folks are suing these days, and I just want to spend my time suing other people instead of getting sued. So I'm just saying. Yeah, keep Job's name out your mouth. Keep him out your mouth. He probably sick of y'all. Job like, how I get in it? He always catching straight. He literally was he was a just man, like upright, doing everything right. But then he get thrown in with all of these heathens and alleged criminals who say, oh, because you got reaping what you sowing, now all of a sudden y'all the same. Job like, no, I really ain't do nothing. Like, I got and caught in the game to prove a point that regardless of what comes my way, I'm still gonna serve them. We are not the same. Stop throwing my name in here. Cut it out. All right. Marcus, stay working. Hey, Marcus over there at Amazon. Yeah, Shirley roared Job out, did. You said they not like us. All right, so we know the friend was on the stand, and I gave a little bit of context because it sounds like it was more to what she was saying. when I talked about it earlier. But let's go down to what I thought I already clicked. I thought I was already there. Now I got to go through all this. Let's see. Okay, so then that's where we stop. So let's get in there. Thank you for the cash app. I appreciate the love. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Um, so they entered in, and I guess the AUSA was like, "We ain't got no more questions for Miss Morgan. She said everything we needed her to say." So they came back on break on cross. So now you got Agnifilo. You were Miss Ventura's best friend since 2004. She responds, actually, 2001. We met waiting for the Polaroids to develop. I was living in Buffalo and she was in Connecticut. Then you were in NYC. I stayed downtown. She moved to Harlem. Have you ever met Kim Porter? Yes, probably at a concert. Was Cassie ever jealous? Yes. And the other way? Cassie was speaking with Michael B. Jordan and Sean got jealous. She was trying to leave him. You were both using drugs? No, we were in South Africa. Did you learn about Gina? Yes. He was having a full relationship with the little girl. Oh, Carrie, Carrie, Carrie said Diddy was messing with a little girl, talking about Cassie. And Agnifilo responds, why do you say that? Why do you call her that? That is not how you respond to that, Agnifilo. You respond by, she was an adult. Is that right? Yeah, she was a grown woman. Is that right? And if she say anything else, you say she's not responsive and you move on. But you want to really get her answer an open-ended question. Why do you call her that? They could have said she was so naive and it's so obvious. That would have blew your spot up if she responded that, that thorough. She was so naive and she had never had any experiences. And basically, she knew that Sean was trying to mold her because she was a bit, I don't want to say slow, but she was just a little, delayed in some things because she was so young. That would have been messed up. So anyway, Morgan said, she acts like that. She's younger than us. So then Agnifilo says, when you say Sean came and hammered on the door, why did the police come? They said because of the noise. Duh! Like, is that really a question we need to ask? Didn't we figure that they were so darn noisy that that's probably why the police came? What are we doing here, Agnifilo? What are we doing? Oh my God, today. Okay. What did they say to you? Cassie was visibly injured, but she didn't say anything. You two were best friends for 18 years, but now you haven't spoken with her since 2018. That's true. At the danger of being Captain Obvious, that's a long time. She's moved. Objection. So he rephrases his question. Why haven't you spoken with her? She did not support me after Sean assaulted me. I tried that line at assault. So maybe she drew the line at assault, is what it sounds like. And we talked about that earlier, that she probably was like, yeah, no, if you want to take these beatings, that's fine. But I'm not about to take those. So, okay. You reached a settlement with Miss Ventura. The money came from Mr. Combs. So then Agnifilo shows Carrie Morgan photos, then asks, do you know if Louise Hayes is a self help author about self affirmations? Yes. Why did you send him this with words of encouragement? I don't remember sending it. Okay. Mm. I want to show you a few more photos, but first let's talk about the incident when he put his hands on your neck. Were you and Cassie using any drugs at that time? He couldn't have worded it like that. Maybe he should have said when you alleged that he put the hands on your neck. Maybe that's what he said. Were you and Cassie using any drugs at the time? No. What did he say? He said, who is she cheating with? You went to urgent care, not the hospital? Right. But you don't, or maybe it's told, but you told the prosecutor it was bloody and you went to the hospital. I don't remember that. So apparently they're trying to make a big deal out of her saying that she went to the hospital, but she went to urgent care. So they look at the 3500 material, which was not shown to the jury. And she acknowledges, oh, I see I said that. That was it. It gotta be more to this testimony. That was all. Wait a minute, let me go to the shade room. Oh, they say, let me see what the shade room gotta say. Okay, that's about done. Let me see. The next witness has taken the stand. Cassie's longtime friend, Carrie Morgan. She testified that she no longer has a relationship with Cassie despite them being best friends from 2001 to 2018. Morgan alleged she stopped being friends with Cassie because her boyfriend assaulted me and later specified she was referring to Diddy. Carrie Morgan testified she had never witnessed Cassie do drugs or excessively drink alcohol until she got into a relationship with Diddy. She added that Diddy would criticize Cassie's appearance and that Cassie lost her confidence over the years. He would yell at Cassie. She lost her confidence big time, lost her spark. Morgan added that Diddy would often call Cassie 50 times in a row if he was looking for her. Morgan testified that she witnessed Diddy's assault Cassie on multiple occasions and alleged Diddy also attacked her after accusing Cassie of cheating. Morgan said Diddy hit her with the wooden hanger and choked her, which was the end of her relationship with Cassie. Morgan testified she suffered a concussion from the alleged assault. Morgan added that she hired a lawyer but did not file suit against Diddy. Instead, Diddy paid her $30,000. She said Cassie gave her an NDA to sign, which she did. The two have not spoken since. Okay, let me get back to this. Yeah, Agnifilo is stressing me out right now. Okay, now we're on recross. Okay. So the government says, do you remember Mr. Agnifilo asking you about an incident in LA? Objection. Overruled. Then the government continues, and he hit her like in Jamaica, arguing about jealousy. What happened in Jamaica? So Carrie says he dragged Cassie by her hair 50-yard hallway. Was he talking about jealousy? No, he said she spent too long in the bathroom. So basically, ain't had nothing about Diddy being jealous or her messing with somebody. He told her she taking too long in the bathroom, so he dragged her by her hair. He's starting to really piss me off with his anger issues. He really is. Diddy, you starting to piss me off. You really are. Now I ain't saying you got a RICO or that you trafficking nobody, because I ain't saying the totality of the circumstances. But you definitely are pissing me off the way you treated this girl. You really are. You spent too long in the bathroom, so you grab her by her hair. Somebody should have took Cassie to the range, okay? They should have got her a nice CPL class, and one day he would have grabbed her hair and she would have grabbed her Glock. And then that would have been the end of it. Because ain't no way. So that was nothing further. Then there's recross, and he said no. So that was it. It better be more in this transcript. He better have done more than this. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You said I watched J-Lo in enough. You said none of this is proven facts, but it's all about credibility. So are we going to believe these? It's up to the jury to say we believe what they say. So these are actually facts that are into evidence right now. So no, it ultimately is going to be what the jury decides. However, do I personally, in my opinion, if I was a juror, feel like perhaps he dragged her by her hair? I would just refresh my recollection with that video when he dragged her hair down that hallway. I'm just saying, is it plausible? Yes, it's plausible. So I choose to believe that these DV incidents may have occurred. That's just my choice. So I'm not being biased. I'm having an opinion. How is it? This is the testimony. You may not like the testimony, just be you. But it's too many. So you saying everybody lying about it. You have to really believe in your mind that everybody is lying about this man's temper. And you have to act like the video never happened. That's what. Do I believe he did everything everybody says? No, I don't. I've already said that. I don't. I believe some of these lawsuits are not accurate. But do I believe that he may have done some of this stuff? Yes. But do I believe some things are money grabs? I do. Carrie isn't even cool with Cassie no more. So, like, what motive really does she have at this point? So I'm just saying, we not gonna Did you know that she has immunity, Jesse, from the nap? Did we hear that in any test? Because I didn't see it in the transcript. And typically what you will do as a defense attorney is you can say, you have an agreement with the government, don't you? Because they have to turn that over. You have an agreement with the government, don't you? Yes, and that agreement is that no matter what you say today, how you say it, what you admit to, you can't be prosecuted, right? Because that goes towards credibility. So I surmise that if the defense knew that she had an immunity deal, they probably would have said it. That's information to put out. He literally apologized for beating Cassie at the toe. He definitely was abusing her. I'm not saying he did everything they said he did in that indictment. I'm just saying from this perspective, as far as whether he was physically assaulting her. I think that there is evidence that he was physically assaulting her. And he's admitted it that he's physically assaulted her. Are we still going to say allegedly he assaulted her? I think it's interesting that they are describing all the DV instances the exact same way we all saw on the video. Kelly, that is interesting too. So, do you think that people are shaping their testimony to fit the video? Hmm? Hmm? Do y'all think? Because this is the reason why you sequester witnesses, because you don't want the other testimony. You don't want them to basically fix their testimony to fit into with someone else to corroborate what they say. So, do y'all think that people are basically adding the dragon, like Don Richard, some of that stuff apparently they're alleging she added, according to Westmoreland? She started adding more. Do you think it's because of when people were giving their accounts in these lawsuits, or people were giving their accounts in these videos, that they are framing it to make these, even though they may have seen him do something to her? But do you believe that they're fitting their alleged experiences into what's out in the public? Hmm. What do you think? You said, I believe that. Or does he have a pattern? That's true. And that may be what he does. That's what the MO, when I say the modus operandi. Some people have a way that they do things. It's just a lot. You see all of these different scenarios. This is what the jury has to go through. Like, you telling me every single time he dragging people by the hair and nobody doing anything? Or do they say, oh, this is what he is. He's a hair puller. He likes to drag people around hallways. Like, this is what they have to weigh. Hmm. Okay, V, I'm gonna need you to be respectable, because I don't want you to get timed out. We're not gonna call people slow. Everyone has opinions on their lens and their experience, and we all are a platform of which we all give different scenarios. Because this is what the jury is going through, and there's gonna be somebody when they deliberate that's going to be like on one side and somebody on the other side, and they have to be able to persuade the other side to get a unanimous verdict. So, you said his love language is power writing. A lady 747. We might have to block some people, Val, because they don't know what's up on here. I heard he gave somebody rabies. You know what? 504. I'm I don't even know why I clicked on your comment. Okay, no worries, V. I know it's a passionate case. All right. Yes, it can be like that, because I get irritated by the cross and the direct, because this is what I do. So I understand that. No worries. I just want you to, like, y'all all slow. Was y'all stupid? Was y'all on the short bus? Like, okay, I need you to relax, sis. Just relax. We just trying to give our opinion. You said, I thought the feds do not offer immunity. They will give you a downgrade letter after you testify, but are still getting charged, correct? They give you immunity. You can get proffer agreements. You can get proffer agreements. However, if you don't testify correctly, yes, they can take it back. Lily Sweet says some of these opinions in the chat you can tell is from someone's clout chasing podcast or hearsay. Y'all need to listen to experts like Pam. Thank you so much from the for the super chat. I appreciate that, and the kind words. People are really in a this is a very emotionally charged case. So I understand. I give people grace and mercy. Cause I'm telling you, the video kind of, it pissed me off too. And like some of this stuff, it's like it'll piss anybody off. But we got to stay focused on what he's charged with. And I get what the government is trying to do. And we'll see as more testimony comes on. The next person was a assistant for him. Are surprise witnesses allowed, or does that only happen on TV? Thanks for all you do. Thank you so much, HFG, for the super chat. No, we are not an ambush litigation judicial system. There are no Perry Mason, Matlock moments where right when you think you about to lose, somebody comes in with their dark glasses and everybody turns around like, oh, I thought she was dead. And they come in and they tell everything. No, it has to be, that is part of the problem of why you do a witness list. You have to do a witness list by a certain time so nobody, even somebody you think might testify. So it's not even all the ones that you really anticipate calling, any that you're gonna call rather, but it can be if there's any chance in heck that you're gonna call them, you need to put it on there so that the other side will know whether they need to interview them or to pay attention to the discovery relating to that person. So no, we do not have any shocks and surprises. Whoever is on that witness list will be the ones that will be allowed to testify. That is exactly why the judge got mad at Agnifilo when he objected to Don Richard and her testimony, because he objected and the judge is like, why didn't you do a motion to eliminate before? Like, these are issues that we talk about before on whether a person should is relevant to testify or irrelevant or for call for improper purposes or whatever. That's something that we go over. So yeah. All right, let's see what this assistant has to say. Hit that like button. All right, so now she off the stand. So the next witness is David James. And so the government said, why are you here? He's like, because I've been subpoenaed. Like, what? Why you think don't you know why I'm here? Didn't you subpoena me? Were you Combs' personal assistant from 2007 to 2009? So he was actually the assistant, it seems like. So as soon as he got with Cassie, because I think that's when they got together in 07. Who is this in this photo? That's David James. That's yourself? Yes. So he looked at the photo and said, oh, that's David James. Not, that's me. That's David James. So he says, I went to college in Michigan, which means he's very, very smart, for the record. Just for those that don't know. Later, I faxed my resume to Bad Boys. And where was the interview? 1710 Broadway. Who'd you meet? Tommy, his sister Keisha, and others. Who is Tommy and Keisha? Huh? And how did they test you? They gave me 40 appointments and asked me to make a schedule. You had to know, for example, what time a particular show on Hot 97 came on. And what did Mr. Combs ask you? To make a spreadsheet for Miami. I said, I know his food and restaurant preferences. He asked me why'd I make a good assistant. I said, can't stop, won't stop. And I got the job. He's so corny. He was like, can't stop, won't stop. And he was like, yeah, I like you. I like you. Look at you using me on me. You got the job. You said Diddy's sister's name is Keisha. Thank you guys for telling me, because I didn't know Keisha. I didn't know Keisha. Okay. My sister says she can't stop, won't stop asking y'all to hit the like button, and she Harlem shaking while she doing it. Or he doing Diddy used to just be in a video like doing his two-step. The people that don't really know how to dance for real, doing the two-step like. Every step I take, Doing the little two-step. Okay, yeah, the Diddy bop. Mm-hmm. 504 said Tommy and Keisha from Power. Him and Mace. Y'all so funny. All right, let's get back to business here. He said he got the job because he said, I know I'm going to be a good assistant because I said can't stop, won't stop. And I got the job. Did he have others? Miss Robles, Miss Barber, and others. And what would you do as assistant? Bad boy to 5, then out to dinner, then to the studio to 3 a.m. We'd get a call time at the end of the night. Did you travel with Mr. Combs as well? Yes. Who are the security staff? D Rock, Bonds, and Uncle Polly. See, Bonds, you're not gonna be able to slip your way about this one because they just keep throwing your name in it. You work 20 hours a day? Yes, security did too. He better be paying good working 20 hours a day. Like what? You basically lived with them. But I guess if you're a personal assistant, that's what you do, right? What did security staff tell you? To stay in my lane? Who said that? Bond, Uncle Paulie. Focusing on his personal chef. Who is it? Chef Jordan. So it's Jordan Atkinson. Did Mr. Combs have girlfriends then? James said it was Kim, Sarah, Tara, and Yana, Cassie, Keisha. Okay, he didn't say that. He didn't go through the DMX name. He said it's Kim Porter, Sarah, Tara, Yana, and Cassie. So he already had about 5 girlfriends when he got with Cassie. Oh my goodness. I can't with this testimony. He had 5 girlfriends. So yeah, she was trying to come up the ranks. Did they have an order? Okay. What was your first conversation with Cassie? We were on Star Island. Carrie Morgan was there too. Cassie said, "This lifestyle is crazy." I asked her, "Why don't you leave?" She said, "Sean controls my life, my music. He pays for my apartment." So this was like early on too, because he was between 2007 and 2009. I want to say, hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Did you guys miss me? What? What are you guys talking about on here? Should I put parental discretion as advice? What? Okay. No stamina. He has the escorts do what? Sister, why are you talking like this? Collective Tribal said Bond said a lot of them did live in the house. Security, cook, assistant, etc. Tootsie Roll. The butterfly, that's old. Let me see that Tootsie Roll. I don't know what you've been told. It ain't the butterfly, it's the Tootsie Roll. Okay, what's the Tootsie Roll about? Are y'all trying to say, like, are they trying to describe his stuff as Tootsie Roll? Is that what you guys are saying? Hmm? I walk away for 2 minutes and I got to put this on parental discretion is advised. What is going on here? According to the women, it wasn't big enough to Tootsie.
Mama, Bobby, give me some sweet sour sauce.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is so.
There's nothing I can do about it. Go get something out the fridge.
Okay, I lied.
He said, I don't believe that it was a Tootsie Roll. There just ain't no way. They don't want this, and they don't want to believe it. Oh God. Sean would be disgusted if he knew how you guys were talking about his man parts.
We ran out of ketchup.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Danielle, for letting me know. All right, let me get back here. Next conversation. It was about her music, but the album never came out. Did you overhear a conversation? Yes. Mr. Combs said Kim is my queen out in LA with my family. I believe he said that. I told y'all. I'm like, Kim was like, yeah. He said, I have Cassie right here where I want her. She's young and moldable. Ooh. The government said, Your Honor, how much longer do you want to go? This would be a good place to break. So then they break for the day, it looks like. So what y'all think about the assistant? I think he gonna have a couple of things to say. I don't know about this assistant. He's already basically saying, like, yeah. He basically said, this is my woman. Kim is my woman. She's my queen. I'm just messing with her and I'm a mold her into what I need her to be. What y'all think about that? Let me see what the shade room got to say. See if somebody else got something to say. Okay. According to the shade room, they say, the prosecution questioned James about his duties as Diddy's assistant, which including booking reservations, being present at the Bad Boy office, heading to the studio until 3 a.m., and travel. James testified he and Diddy's security team worked 20 hours a day. James testified Diddy was in a relationship with 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women during the time he worked for him, naming the following women: Kim Porter, Sarah, Tara, Yana, and Cassie. The prosecution asked about James' first conversation with Cassie, in which he asked why Cassie wouldn't leave Diddy. Cassie allegedly replied, Sean controls my life, my music. He pays for my apartment. James recalled a conversation he overheard Diddy having while they were on Star Island. Mr. Combs said, Kim is my queen out in LA with my family. He said, I have Cassie right where I want her. She's young and moldable. That is hearsay. So how they were able to get it in, I don't know. I would have objected because it sounded like hearsay. He's saying he heard what Cassie said, unless somehow they have an exception to it. It may have been something they already discussed on sidebar. I don't know. Mm, 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 mm. I would have objected, but I don't know. They may have. Remember, we don't have the testimony, like we don't have the transcript, so I don't want to say that they didn't. They said basically he molded her into what he wanted her to be. But he always like when somebody does not want to spend holidays with you or want you around their kids, how do you not know that you just a side chick? And then you wasn't just a side chick, it was five of y'all. So you left Joe for sure for some more because you was with Ryan Leslie. We ain't heard about him be out here spreading it low and spreading it wide, but I don't know the man. He could have been. But you left Ryan Leslie. You ain't said nothing ill about him to go with be with a ninja who has a whole family in LA who is his quote queen, and you in a whole harem of women where outside of Kim, there's four that this man know about it. We don't know about any of the other women he was messing with, but he called them his girlfriends. They wasn't even considered we just kicking it. They was his girlfriends. And that means everybody knew about it. Your friend D Rock, who you thought was your friend, Cassie, they was not your friend, sis. They was loyal to Diddy. Because apparently, if he was doing all of this stuff would have happened in front of this security. Like, what? So, probably what's going on 504 depends on who's going to cross. Because when you have those many lawyers, typically the person who is going to cross examine the witness is the one that's going to do the objections. So if you've seen Westmoreland when she because she was crossing Don Richard, she was the one standing up objecting whenever the when they were on direct examination. And so that's so you don't have chaos. So there's conformity. Whoever's going to do the cross typically will object. Now, sometimes you'll have times like I've done trials with people and all of us stood up at the same time. Objection, it'd be the whole table. And you're like, oh, my bad, judge. Oops. Because sometimes it just comes, it's like second nature. And so you just do it and you're not thinking about it. But oh, maybe she was okay with being a side chick, but not an abuse victim. Okay, Kevin Durant's hairbrush. You might be right. We stand to object, but apparently you don't necessarily have to. That's not necessarily everyone's protocol in the courtroom. But my experience has been that. And even in federal court here, the judges, if you're gonna sit down, you basically ask permission to sit down because otherwise there's an expectation that you stand up for everything. Collective tribal consciousness said the men around him probably had multiple girlfriends too. Could have been. Yeah, she knew what it was. So maybe it became a competition for her too. She was like, I can do if I decide to do whatever he wants me to do, maybe I could eventually take the lead role. Just like how men are hunters, there are some women that are the same way, where they want what it appears they can't have and they're willing to do whatever to get it. But Diddy was looking at it where he probably knew she was like that, and clearly he took some type of advantage of that situation. That's what he said. No holidays and couldn't be around the kid. That's what she said. She said, "Oh, but one time I did spend New Year's with him." Like, girl, that I mean, that's a holiday technically, but that ain't no holiday. Technically, like he's probably out hosting a party or something, and you probably were too. It depends on the judge. You said Hoover missed the memo to stand. He didn't stand the motion to suppress. No, it depends on the judge. Yeah, I'm very theatrical though too. Like I'm the one that's gonna throw my glasses on the desk and look so appalled. And I really am appalled most of the time, but I just add a little stank to it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of lawyers too that were theaters theater majors in undergrad. So even though a lot of people they'll go be criminal justice majors and do all of that, you don't have to have a specific major to go to law school. You can go to law school forever. You can go to law school for raising cows, okay, with an undergrad and raising cows, and you can still get in law school. So you don't have to have a specific degree unless you're trying to do like patent because they take a whole different bar. You have to have, I think, a science background to do patents. But other than that, so there's a lot of attorneys. Most, like I'm political science. Usually you're just into politics and law, so that's what you want to study in undergrad. But a lot of people, a lot of attorneys have taken theater, and it shows during trial. I'm like, oh my God, they are so extra. Then I get up and try to be just as dang go extra to match the energy. Um, I wonder if she felt like she needed to be loyal like Dom. I will. Anonymous said so Kim Porter was the main. Yeah. And everybody knew it, I think. I heard it's good to get an English degree before law school. It don't matter. Law school changes the way you think. So it changes your whole thought process for most people. Except if you were a judgmental person and you think everybody, you believe police and everything they say, then you just, that's kind of your mind frame. A lot of prosecutors have that mind frame and they just, they don't give you the benefit of the doubt. There are some people that have that mindset, but that's why I'm always been weighed on both sides. So that's why I said yesterday, oh yeah, it sounds, I ain't feeling Cassie's, all of the testimony like that it does what the government needs it to do. But I said, but don't hold me to it, because the next day I might say, oh shoot, Diddy and them better get scared. The government is on it, because I automate. You can't be a good attorney, in my opinion, if you don't know the good of your case and the bad of your case. So you have to acknowledge both, that okay, that doesn't work, that doesn't work in my favor, and how, and if you know it, you can try to spin it, or at least try to explain it. Like I said, not necessarily excuse it, but at least try to explain it. Shay said, I've noticed that a trend. A childhood associate was a theater kid. He ended up studying constitutional law and now reps for our area. Yep. Because you have to speak. It teaches you public speaking. Um, you don't want to stand up there in front of a jury like, my solar system. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you heard everything today. Now it's up to you. Like, you can't be like, you have to keep the jury engaged, because half of them have fallen asleep anyway with all of this information. You got experts, it gets technical. So if you get up there and you crack a little joke, or you get a little, theatrical, and you got your little, pictures and your photographs and your PowerPoints, and it keeps them more engaged. So I've seen some more theatrical than others where you're like, oh my gosh, if you don't sit down somewhere. Thank you so much, Queen Brio, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. You said no Easter speeches. No, it helps you because you do talk in front of people a lot and you want to relate. You want to be able to relate to them. You don't want it to be like you're so far removed, because I've never had a jury where I didn't have a student, somebody that just went to college. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be able to relate and connect to your jurors. You don't never want to make it seem like you up here and they down here. Try to be overly technical. Try to be boring as heck. Shoot. No. Kim may have been his soulmate, but she didn't escape his abuse at times either. That's from Aunts. What is your name? Auntie Aaliyah T. Y'all be coming up with some names. I don't know. Yeah, Bond said that Kim used to be giving him the business. Don was scared of Diddy, but hit him up trying to get signed to a solo deal. That sealed it for me, that Don is full of That's why I said I ain't feeling downs like that. But I don't know. This sister might bring us some bombshells. The friend too, because she obviously didn't like Diddy. You know, it's a little bias there. But she's not friends with Cassie anymore. So that shows that she really don't have, I guess, an incentive, except she hate his guts. But I didn't like the questioning. I want to see in the transcript, I guess, what the questioning really was, because he said things like, the time that he choked you. I'm like, why would you even repeat that? I would say that you allege this happened. And what I do think is interesting too is a lot of these incidents Cassie never even testified to. It seems like the government would have been like, do you recall an incident where he tried to hit you on top of your head because it was taking too long for you to finish cooking those eggs? I think it's just interesting they're not corroborating anything, like using them to corroborate stories. They all have independent stories that Cassie never talked about. But yeah. Thank you. Your like and subscribe is good enough. Thank you so much for supporting the platform with your like and your subscribe. Everybody but Cassie knew and understood Kim was Diddy's number one. No, I think Cassie knew that. How do you not know that when somebody says, I'm going on vacation with Kim and the kids? I can't spend Christmas with you, but you can get the day after. Valentine's Day, no, you don't get that, but you can get the day after or the day before. The only holiday you get is your birthday. Now, he did, you know, it's all over YouTube, all the parties he threw her. He threw her, I know, 29th, 30th. He did throw her parties because that was her day. It wasn't conflicting with nothing. I mean, how could she not know? I mean, a lot of the text was she would say, well, I'm asleep right now. You just go ahead and you go to Kim. She knew exactly who the number one was. I think she just was trying to move up. And was he manipulative? Probably. TMZ released somewhat. What TMZ released? Some exhibit photos of Cassie. They were horrible. She's lucky she didn't get severely injured. Okay, let me look up TMZ photos of Cassie. Let me see. That's what I was telling somebody. I'm like, why y'all not trying to get these exhibits? Because you are, oh, they blocked some of this stuff out. Okay, let me put this up. I'm just now seeing these. Thank you guys so much. So in one image, it looks like Cassie snapped a selfie of her swollen and busted lip, and she's wearing a hoodie and hiding her eyes behind a big pair of glasses. Another photo shows a deep gash over Cassie's eyebrow. There's a good amount of blood and open flesh, and it appears there's some swelling and bruising. This same injury appears to be shown in a separate photo from later on because it appears to be healing, though there's still a decent wound on her left. Oh my gosh. Cassie is seen in a fourth photo. She turned her back to the camera and has her shirt off, and there appears to be a dark bruise on her left buttocks, cheek, and some more bruising on her left shoulder blade. Mm, mm, mm. Oh. Yeah, you can try to get the exhibits once they're entered in. That's why I was shocked that nobody was really getting them with all the people that's there. 504. That eye looked like he bust her eye open or whoever bust her eye open. I choose joy. Carlotta said, if there's a silver lining in this, her girls are hopefully too young to understand all that is online and being said about her life right now. Yeah, hey, really, B. Good to see you, sis. Well, that was horrible. Helena said, at this point, they ought to get Diddy at all costs. He domestic abuse her, no doubt. I'm a woman and don't believe all they say he did. They need to do a RICO with all DVs. All y'all clowns, every last one of you clowns that decided to hit women, we gonna do a nationwide RICO. So all of y'all that punching women in their face, dragging them by their hair, and have them living in fear, we're gonna do a class action RICO. And all y'all about to sit at this dang on table. Because I think you all got an ignorant enterprise, a clown enterprise. That's gonna be the name of your enterprise, goofballs, punks. Yeah, I did see those, the photos from the hotel. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see that. Hold on 1 second. Mm. Photos from hotel. Okay. One thing TMZ gonna do is they gonna get the business. Okay. Let me see. Let's pull up the photos from the hotel. Mm-hmm. That's that's can't stop, won't stop right there. Federal agents testified they found drugs, baby oil, lubricant, and cash stashed in Diddy's New York City hotel room after his September 2024 arrest. They took photos as evidence, and now we're seeing what they found. He got some baby oil, look like it's brand new, still got the little plastic around the top. He got one open. He done used a little bit right there. You see that? Those all look full. So, hmm dozens of photos from inside Diddy's hotel room at the Park Hyatt Hotel in NYC have now been entered as exhibits in the case, and we've compiled some of the most interesting images for your peruse. That's the pink stuff. Y'all see the pink stuff? Hmm In new legal docs obtained by TMZ, the feds say they recovered two clear plastic Ziploc bags and an orange prescription bottle. And inside the baggies were pink solid material. The feds say one bag tested positive for ketamine and the other tested positive for MDMA and ketamine. The bags were actually shown in court last week during testimony from Department of Homeland Security agent Yasin Binda, and the bags with the pink drugs were passed from juror to juror. So they literally had the bag and they was like, here you go, letting everybody look inside the bag to see what was in there. Binda also showed off a fanny pack with $9,000 in cash inside, which Binda says was recovered from Diddy's hotel room. And there's a photo showing the cash in these exhibits. You guys see all of the hundreds mixed up with the Visine? Mm-hmm. Binda also showed off a fan. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. This is from Frank Black, okay? This is his alias. The DHS agent testified a bottle of prescription medication, clonazepam, was found in an orange prescription bottle made to Frank Black. Cassie testified that was an alias Diddy used, and we see this bottle in the photos. Benda's show and tell with the jury also featured bottles of Astroglide lubricant and Johnson's baby oil, and those appear to be on the photos as well. This was the detainment right here. I'm not going to play the video. Okay. You guys see the Astroglide? He got some Benadryl. I see a lighter. I don't know what's in this tube. We got some pink stuff. Some more stuff going on here. What is this? What's in this pink thing right here? Is that just regular candy? He likes Jolly Ranchers. Some more pills. Some more stuff. That's a picture of the whole drawer. Bro, how you know you were like definitely a suspect on your way to get indicted? You moved to New York because you knew you were going to end up being arrested, and you still got all of this stuff? He got a problem, because, oh my gosh. There's the little pouch that they passed along for all of the jurors to see. This is a picture of the small, quaint, very confined room of which he was staying in at the time of his arrest. I don't know. I don't know. You said that's psych med. Yeah, it was alleged that he was bipolar. That's what Cassie said. Because she was thinking he was having some episode or something in one of the incidents. So he was having the mental health challenges along with taking drugs, which is not a good combination to take. Okay, so Barbie Gang said he didn't move to New York. He is from New York. He has more than one resident. Okay, this is a hotel room. So you're incorrect. There were conversations where there was Agnafilio was already hired. He was in conversations with the AUSA. And basically what he was trying to do was set it up so Diddy can stay in New York to show that he's not trying to flee. He was not living in New York. So he had to stay. He was trying to find an apartment at first, but then it was hard for him to find an apartment. So he was staying at the hotel. This is why Agnifilo was pissed off, because he took Diddy's passports, the kids' passports. Everybody got their passports snatched as a good faith that he wasn't going to try to flee, but he knew this indictment was coming. So he moved to New York, and typically what will happen is when the AUSA knows you have an attorney, they will contact you and say, listen, this indictment just came down. Do you want to set up a time for your client to come down here and turn themselves in and do their arraignment? And sometimes you actually work out bond before you even get there. So they give you the heads up. So this is what Agnifilo thought was going to happen. Well, what ended up happening is Diddy was walking, minding his business up in this hotel, and they came in and they arrested him. So that's part of why they were pissed, because they were looking like, well, we were in communication and I'm trying to tell you I had him move here for this purpose. And now I'm telling you his location and everything. And then you just gonna like do a big old, scene that everybody's gonna see, instead of him having the courtesy of being able to come in. He's showing he's not running. So that was their beginning of thinking that this was kind of like trying to create a media circus, because they have been in communication for like months, apparently, according to the emails. All right. And they swoop down And they got her. Yes. Just to give you guys, I know it's been a while. It's been a little minute. So I just want to make sure you guys know. She did, Karen. She said she enjoyed them in the beginning, and she said she continued to do it, not for herself, but for her man. But the thing was this. I think she more so, she said she did not want him to do with anybody else. So she was willing to take it for the team. Because she would, in her mind, and to this day, she doesn't know if he was doing that with anybody else. She felt like at least she knows he's not doing this with anybody else, and she's sharing something that is so intimate and personal with him. So that actually made her feel special. I don't think she really felt like a victim until she went to get treatment. And allegedly, according to the sidebars that I read, one of the treatment center told her basically what was happening to her was trafficking. So that's kind of, I think, where that came from. But she, in her mind, she was willing to just take one for the team because this is what her man liked and she wanted to keep him happy. Now, I think this new witness is basically gonna try to establish that this was almost what Diddy was trying to do, was to get someone young and impressionable that he could mold into what he wanted them to be. So he knew that she would probably be willing to do whatever to stay with him. And so there was an advantage taking on that end. But some people feel that way with age gap relationships, period. Then you got some people with age gap relationships and it works very well. So it's like, how do you draw the line when you do have some people that are 30, 40 years older than someone and it works out for them and they've been married for 30 years? So it doesn't always happen like that. Then you have people like Shannon Sharp. What did Shannon Sharp say? One of the reasons why he don't like older women. I think they be believing that a lot of younger women is going to put up with a lot more BS than older women that already been through the BS. And they like, we not going through that again. So, yeah. You said 30, 40 years is disgusting. It happens though, sis, Joy. It happens. Go on TikTok. Look at all of these stay-at-home traditional, they call them trad wives. Traditional wives. Go on TikTok. There are a lot of age gap relationships on there. I have never seen so many. It's like 27 and 51. 21 and 45. It's a lot of that on, like, it's a lot more common than people are like acknowledging. And some of them, they do seem happy. Like they're not getting played. They at home, they don't have to work. You 22, you just cook your little meal every now and then, and that's it. And they taking care of you, and they're okay with that. Joy said, I'm aware and I speak from experience. When you grow up, you realize it's nasty. It's over 1,000 of y'all and it's only 488 likes. I know you guys are playing with me, right? This is the second time I've been on trying to make sure you guys stay in the loop. Okay, let's see if it's, so this is the room. Pretty modest. It's not looking real presidential Swedish, you know, but hey. Maybe he was already trying to save his money because he knew he was going to have to pay $1 quadrillion if he got out on bond. Okay, we got some more Johnson & Johnson baby oil and some Astroglide over there in the plastic containers. More Johnson & Johnson. Okay. And these are some more pictures that were taken. And this is his closet, of which he has his clothes, as you guys see. He has, you know, just looks like a little basic closet, nothing too fancy, nothing too spectacular. He wasn't planning on staying here too long. This was just a transitional location until he found him a place. But then the government said, no, you're out of here. Okay, what is this? Okay, he had his phone. They probably took that. They probably took that since he got his Visine up there. He has some really red, itchy eyes, we see. Got some more Visine up there on the top where the bed is. The bed frame. What is that? Blue light. Trying to set the mood. Got the little blue light plugged up. Okay. E Boogie said, "Child, I was 25. I was 25 and dating a 55-year-old. My coworkers used to call him speed limit and told me I get worms. I ain't have no business." So thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I think I was like 20 and I dated somebody that was like 40. It used to be this lady that was at she was at my job and she was like 40, and I want to say the guy she dated was 70, and he would come because he was retired and he had a couple dollars though, but he was retired and he would drop her off every day in his little Corvette. He was in a Corvette club. Like Detroit has a lot of car clubs, right? So you go down Belle Isle and stuff in the summertime. And so he would come and he was like, oh, she was kind of a young, young 42. And he would come and I'm like, girl, why? Like, he is visibly old. It ain't even nothing like, but listen, he drove her there every day. She had a ride. She was catching the bus before. Shoot. And then he was still with his wife, I guess. Or maybe she was sick. It was something going on with the wife. And so with the car clubs, you have little jackets and stuff. And I remember her coming in with the wife's jacket on. The wife's name was Carla. I ain't gonna never forget. And she came in with that little Corvette club jacket on, and she was like, I'm like, girl, like, whose jacket you got on? It got Carla on it. She was like, I'll be Carla for the day. This is my man now. So she didn't even get her a new jacket. She had the old wife's jacket. But I mean, it worked out for her. She stayed with him for about 7 years. I think he ended up getting sick. I don't know if she married him, but he did like leave her everything. He got sick and he passed away, and she got, she quit. You know what I'm saying? She quit. She quit the job once he passed away. It was a little white, and it was crazy because she invited me. She was like, girl, you need to go to this Corvette party. It's a lot of people with a lot of money and this and that. And I was like in my early 20s. So I went to one of them Corvette parties, and I promise you everybody was like 60 and up. I'm like, is that a Corvette thing? Like, everybody say I'm gonna retire and get a Corvette, because all of them were, and they all just hitting on you. I'm like, they didn't care. Like, you were 20, they was 80. They was still trying to hit on you. I say all that to say that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a thing. And it works out for some people. Yeah, it's a retirement thing. You said midlife crisis equals vet. Okay, let's go over some more of these pictures. Let's see. What do we have here after the blue light? We have the Louis shaving bag. We have some water. We have a Sharpie marker. Some magazines. Nothing too crazy in this picture. Nothing in this photo that's too crazy. We have another picture of the stand next to the bed. There's nothing but an iPhone. I don't see anything, some sunglasses, a bottle of water, a little ashtray just in case he wants to do a little smoky smoke. What else do we have? Let's see. Oh, it wasn't enough for his closet. So yeah, so he got a nice little view there. Okay, got the little glass view. He had to get the rack. Probably his stylist had to come in and put the rack so he could choose his outfit for the day. Choose which outfit he was going to be arrested in. We have more baby oil. No, this is the one I think we saw already. Only one of them looks like it was cracked open. All the rest of them look brand spanking new. This is the little area over in the hotel room. And this is the bathroom. Very nice bathroom. Look at the he got the little teal salt there to put in the bathtub to soak away his, sore muscles, his recovery process. Let's see here. He got, the regular, the Listerine, the toothbrushes, got the towels and things. Mm-hmm. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Just regular. Let's see. Are y'all looking at these pictures? Y'all too busy talking about how much he is. Okay, what else do we have here? I don't know. What is that? I don't know what that is. Can you guys tell me what that is, please? He said he likes to glisten. He likes to have he likes to put the baby oil on his body. He likes people to look glistening. That's allegedly what Cassie said. You would apply it multiple times, but she did say there was no drugs in it, like people were alleging. They're not laced. The baby oil's not laced like was in one of them lawsuits. Okay. Is it an iPad? I don't know what that is. Said no ashy skin. I don't know. Baby oil is not made for adult ashy skin. You got to get you some grease based, some thick lotion if you have ashy problems. Now the oil just makes you smell good. It makes you glisten, but it wears off. So whenever it wears off, I guess he wanted them to reapply it. Remember, Cassie said the first time they did this or around the first time they did this freak off thing, they hired somebody from a company and he was supposed to come and strip. And then when he came, they were like, it's not really a bachelorette party. And this is my husband over here. What he wants us to do is I'm going to rub oil on you. You can rub oil on me. And if you want to go further, we can go further. So it was just a lot of optics that it sounded like he wanted. That's all. No, it does not. It does not. It's made for babies. I mean, what babies do you know that's really ashy? What the heck? Do you eat boogie? Tell us more about this young man. She said, I knew a brother who had baby oil in the shower and used it faithfully. How do you know, E Boogie? How do you know what this man used in his shower? Hmm? Why do you have this intimate detail of this man? That's what we want to know. The government making a mockery of abuse using RICO case for this. You can make this case for 80% of America. Sal 44, I agree. I think when it comes to that, I'm not going to say the mockery part, but I am going to say that there are a lot of people that have abused women. And so how he's I think they're trying to incorporate it because first of all, he has a violent streak. Then he does have all these businesses and he has money and power, which may not necessarily be the norm of your average domestic violence abuser. But yeah, I told you, I was like, shoot, you might as well gather them all the DV people and set them at the table. Shoot, do a whole Rico. You said we dated and he was dark. And so once he had the baby oil, what did that do to you? Do for you? Was you it made his skin shine and it made him more attractive? What did this baby oil do, E Boogie? Huh? Did you like the smell of it? You liked him smelling like a fresh baby? What is it? I think Gina is the one that they're saying they're alleging they can't find. So that's it. Hmm. That's what they're alleging that his organization, almost like he started these businesses for the purposes of getting away with crime. That's pretty much what an enterprise is. They look like legit businesses, but they're really generating your money and stuff through criminal acts. You said we thank you so much, E-Boogie, for your transparency. We thank you for sharing. Bella said, is baby oil available in jail commissary? That is a good question. Let me look that up. Is baby oil available in jail commissary? Let's see. It says yes. Baby oil is generally available at prison and jail commissaries. According to a KCRA article and YouTube video, it's typically included in the personal care of hygiene section of the commissary catalog. So according to Google, they said yes. Okay. I love the Vaseline brand of baby oil. Diddy don't know what he missing with that brand. Y'all so unserious in this very serious matter. Right, glistening all over your body. Yeah, that's what Martin said. Hey, Bama girl. All right, let's look at some more pictures before we get on off of here. This was fun. I'm glad I came back on. So we have another bathroom view. Looks like he might have just got out the shower or something before they came and got him, because they got towels and stuff all over the floor trying to avoid slipping and falling. Okay, that's it. I think that's it. That's the end of our picture gallery. And so we shall return tomorrow. I'll probably be on at around noon. Oh, I got a 5:30. I almost forgot. I'm glad I got it on my calendar. So I have a 5:30 too. I forgot all about it. Usually I don't do things this late, but it was an emergency situation. Thank you guys so much for coming in, and make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks to all the cash apps and all the super chats. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest on this new witness that is on the stand, because he seemed like he got some things to say. He sounded like he has to get some things off of his chest. What I want to know is why he stopped working for Diddy, because I'm sure it's some dramatic departure. Okay. And so I'm going to be very, very curious. All right. So anyway, you guys have a great day. I'll probably see you around these YouTube streets. And that's it. All right. Thank you guys for over 1,000 of you that came in and rocked with your girl for a second time today. I appreciate all the love, and I'll holler at you next time.